you ever feel like you're just running on empty and you can't quite put your finger on why? Well, today we're going to crack open a book by G. Malahava that has a very specific and maybe a little surprising explanation for that feeling. Let's dive into the ideas in The Most Effective Ways of Cleansing. Right? It's a feeling so many of us know. You're just run down. You're not really sick, but you're definitely not at 100%. This book claims it's figured out the root cause of this whole modern problem. So what's the diagnosis it presents? Let's find out. So the book's first big idea is that this feeling of being off isn't just random. No, it frames it as a uniquely modern problem. The author argues that our bodies are basically sending out these little distress signals if we just knew what to look for. And according to the book, those signals are actually pretty specific. We're talking about things like catching every cold that goes around, having dull or earthy skin, constant digestive issues, and even allergies that seem to pop up out of nowhere. The key argument here is that these aren't all separate problems. They're all symptoms pointing to one single hidden cause. So, what is this big, bad root cause? Well, the book has a single, pretty powerful diagnosis for all these symptoms: the slagged body. Yeah, I know, it's a strange term. So let's unpack exactly what the author means by that. You know, the whole concept of slagging really just boils down to one word: overload. The author's theory is that our bodies have these amazing natural cleaning crews, right? But they are just completely overwhelmed by all the toxins in modern life. They just can't keep up. And that slow, gradual backup in the whole system is what the book calls slagging. Okay, so this slide right here perfectly captures the core contrast the author is trying to draw. On one side, you've got this idealized past, right? Everyone's powered by the gifts of nature. And on the other side, you've got our modern reality, which the book claims is defined by a slagged ecology and diet. It's a pretty stark difference. So if our internal systems are supposedly so overwhelmed, the huge question is, by what? What's doing it? Well, the book points the finger at something you might not expect, what it calls the achievements of progress. And here they are, the supposed culprits. According to the author, it's all the stuff of modern convenience. You know, processed foods packed with preservatives, flavor enhancers, and even things we think of as helpful, like antibiotics. The argument in the book is that these advancements have basically unleashed this chemical barrage that our bodies just weren't built to handle. And all those so-called achievements of progress are apparently putting a massive strain on our body's natural janitors. The book singles out these 5 systems, from the liver all the way to your skin, arguing that they've become clogged up and overloaded, and they just can't perform their essential cleaning duties anymore. Okay, so after laying out this pretty grim diagnosis of the modern world, the book finally pivots to what it's really all about, offering a solution. And the solution, according to the author, isn't found in more modern complexity, but actually in going back to something simple. This quote, it's right from the cover, and it really gets to the heart of the book's whole philosophy. The answer it's proposing isn't some complex, high-tech fix. Nope. Instead, it's all about simple, accessible, and safe folk remedies. That is the core promise right there. So, when you boil it all down, the fundamental claim is this: these simple folk remedies can help our overwhelmed systems finally do their job. The goal is to flush out all those accumulated toxins, letting our bodies hit the reset button and start functioning the way they're supposed to. And this really brings us to a much bigger question, doesn't it? In an age of absolutely incredible medical breakthroughs, why do these appeals to ancient natural wisdom still have so much power over us? It's a fascinating question, not just about this one book, but about what we're all really searching for when it comes to our own health.